Artificial intelligence, it's not just another business tool, not anymore. It's fundamentally rewriting the entire playbook for entrepreneurs. So today, we're going to dive into how this tech is changing the very soul of starting a company.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. An AI co-founder? It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But honestly, it's a question every single aspiring founder should be asking themselves right now. We've gone way past thinking of AI as just some automation software. The whole conversation has shifted. Now we're talking about AI as a real collaborator, a partner that can help you come up with ideas, create content, and even scale a business right from the ground up.
And what's driving all this? Well, at the heart of this whole revolution is generative AI. You've probably played around with tools like ChatGPT. The way they work is they're trained on just massive amounts of data, which lets them create totally new content from just a simple prompt you give it. For an entrepreneur, this isn't just a fancy search engine, it's a creation engine.
So, what does this actually mean for you, for someone starting a business today? Well, it means you've got access to a huge new world of opportunities. AI is rapidly becoming this powerful partner, kind of like a superpower that boosts the essential skills every founder needs.
I mean, think about it. AI is weaving itself into almost every single part of the entrepreneurial journey. Imagine brainstorming new business ideas with an AI partner, instantly drafting all your marketing copy, getting help refining a sales pitch on the fly, and analyzing really complex data to make smarter decisions. It's a tool that really just amplifies a founder's own creativity and effectiveness.
I mean, just look at the difference here. The before and after it's night and day. Market research that used to take weeks, maybe even months, now it can be done in minutes. Content creation, which is so often a huge bottleneck for startups, becomes almost instantaneous. A founder's own personal knowledge is no longer the limit, it's just the starting point for an AI to build on. This is a massive, fundamental shift in how businesses get built.
Okay, so if the real world is changing this fast, it's a no-brainer that how we teach entrepreneurship has to change too, right? So how in the world do we get the next generation of founders ready for this new reality?
So, experts usually break down entrepreneurship education into three main flavors: learning about it, learning for it, and learning through it. And guess what? AI is shaking up all three. Let's break them down, starting with the one you're probably most familiar with.
All right, first up, education about entrepreneurship. This is the classic stuff, Sitting in a classroom, learning the theories, the core concepts, basically the textbook fundamentals of how to start a business.
But here's where AI flips the script. The whole dynamic in the classroom changes. The teacher's role shifts from being the sole source of all the knowledge to being more of a facilitator, a guide. They're there to help students ask the right questions and to really critically analyze the information that the AI spits out. This creates a much deeper, way more interactive way to learn the material.
Okay, next up is education for entrepreneurship. This is where we move past the theory and start, getting our hands dirty. It's all about developing the practical skills and the real-world competencies you actually need to build something.
And honestly, this is where AI is a total game changer. Forget about just doing simple simulations. Students can now use the exact same AI tools that professionals are relying on every single day. They can generate a working landing page, draft a real marketing campaign, and truly get a feel for how these technologies work in the real world. Learning shifts from just theory to tangible skills.
And that brings us to the third and final form, education through entrepreneurship. This is the deep end of the pool, learning by actually doing it, by launching a real live business.
As you can probably guess, AI just pours gasoline on this fire. Students can use generative AI to help kickstart and even run their venture, test their ideas way faster, and change things up based on feedback from actual customers. It makes the whole experience of launching a business more dynamic, more realistic, and frankly, more accessible than it's ever been.
But okay, let's pump the brakes for a second. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. This incredible new technology brings a whole new set of challenges and, frankly, risks that we absolutely have to talk about.
And we have to be smart about this because these risks are real. AI can and does produce inaccurate or even harmful information. It totally blurs the line between what's original work and what's generated, which creates huge problems for things like academic integrity. And if we rely on it too much, it could actually get in the way of developing our own critical thinking skills.
And this quote from Vendor and Kohler really nails it. These generative models today are masters of mimicry. They can copy style and structure perfectly, but they don't actually understand the meaning behind the words. They can't learn like a human does, which means their output always needs a critical human eye looking over it.
And I think it's super important to remember that we're still figuring all of this out. We're in uncharted territory. I mean, researchers are wrestling with some massive questions here. How do we make sure data stays private? How do we build AI that can fairly assess complex skills? This field is not settled science. It's a rapidly moving frontier.
So, with all these incredible opportunities and all these serious challenges, what's the move? How do we actually thrive in this new world? Well, the answer isn't to try and compete with AI head-on. It's to double down on the uniquely human skills that technology can help with, but never, ever replace.
Seriously, if you take away just one thing from all of this, let it be this next point. In a world where information is everywhere and can be generated instantly, there is one skill that rises above all the rest. It's critical thinking. That's it. That's the secret sauce. The ability to assess, to review, to question, and to interpret the information that AI gives you. Knowing how to ask the right questions and really reflect on the answers, that is what's going to separate the successful entrepreneurs from everyone else.
Just look at this contrast. It couldn't be clearer. Simply remembering facts is basically becoming obsolete, and AI can do that perfectly. What's truly valuable now is being able to critically look at what an AI produces. This means learning how to ask really good questions. People are calling this prompt engineering, and then engaging in deep, reflective thinking about the answers. These are the skills that are truly future-proof.
All right, so as we start to wrap this up and look ahead, what's the big takeaway here? What does the road ahead really look like for the AI-powered entrepreneur? I love this analogy, and it's the perfect way to think about it. AI is your co-pilot. An incredibly powerful one for sure. It can assist you, give you data, and handle complex jobs, but it is not the autopilot. The human entrepreneur has to stay in the captain's seat, setting the direction, making the final calls, and providing that crucial oversight. And that really brings us to the final and maybe most important point. The future doesn't belong to the people who just use AI as another tool. It belongs to those who get its power, who recognize its limits, and most importantly, have the critical wisdom to question it. So the only real question left is, will you?